God Help the Girl, which to me, as I was watching it, seemed like the most Edith film of all time. I don't know if you thought this. It's set in the Glasgow indie music scene about this brilliant young songwriter. The music is directed by Stuart Murdoch from the indie band Belle and Sebastian. He also wrote the music for it. It's a musical. Mark Radcliffe and Stuart McConey kind of play this Greek chorus of radio DJs who talk about the kind of larger picture. While this girl is trying to get her music career off the ground. It's so Edithy. I don't think you were even in the cinema when I was watching it, but I kind of expected you to manifest because it was just so
pop up on screen. No
exactly,
chance.
Exactly. Now, it stars Emily Browning as this girl called Eve who's living in Glasgow, and she wants to get into this songwriting career. She has this kind of Nick Drake-like tape of her personal outpouring songs that she hands on to the frontman of this other band, who's this kind of Swiss-German hunk. And this is her basically her first kind of clawing attempt to get a bit of notice from the music establishment. And I think we've got a clip of that scene to listen to.
This is really important. They're expecting this tape.
I'll give it to them the second I'll see them.
Okay.
Did we meet before?
Nope, never.
I would have remembered. I'm Anton. We play at the bowling club in a few days, and I can add you to the list if you'd like.
Okay, sure, I'll try and make it.
All right.
Just please give them the tape, okay? Remember to give them the tape, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
She is unbelievable.
Yep. But it's not like she's going to look at us while the Swiss Germans here.
No, there's no way she's getting past the big Swiss German. Life is tragic.
But good.
So yeah, we were talking about this directorial debut from the front lead man from Belle and Sebastian, Stuart Murdoch.
It grew out of a music making project that he actually started many years ago. I think it began as an album that were about songs about coming of age from a girl's point of view.
Yeah.
And then that kind of suggested this film. And the film actually feels very album-like. You know, there's not this kind of big, meaty, three-act revelatory structure where Emily Browning's character is like, I want to be a songwriter. Oh, and there's a high moment. Oh, and there's a low moment. Oh, and then it all ends happily. It's more a sequence of scenes, almost, you know, like album tracks, where she in fact, it's one of these films where you feel that you're in safe hands almost straight away. You know, in the opening scene, she escapes from this hospital where she's living, climbs out of the window, and we see her walking down this moonlit lane, and she starts singing to the camera, which is kind of surprising because the film doesn't look at all like a musical. You know, it's kind of shot grainy, low budget feel, and you don't expect
Gregory's
it to
Girl, basically.
Exactly, it's very, very much channeling those the Bill Forsyth films, Gregory's Girl, local hero as well, and absolutely a huge favourite of Mark Kermode's. You know, it's all of that kind of low-key Scottishness is in there. And just for me, as a low-key Scottish person, this felt like, you know, totally a soothing balm. You know, you just lie back and then just enjoy this. I should say, I am very much the target audience for this movie. I do like Belle and Sebastian. I think The Life Pursuit is one of the greatest albums ever made. And I think Stuart Murdoch is a very, you know, with his lyrics, he is a great lyrical storyteller.
Yeah.
And a lot of what this film is doing is telling the same kinds of stories that he tells in his songs. So Emily Browning's character, Eve, she meets this guy called James at a concert who's played by Ollie Alexander. And he in turn introduces her to Cassie, who is played by Hannah Murphy from Game of Thrones. And they kind of become this loose band. They're sort of band friends. They're sort of friends. You know, Emily Browning, Ollie Alexander, are they in a relationship?
There's a bit of a what if
they kind
there.
of are. It's slightly what ify as well. But it never really resolves itself. And so you just see them kind of dotting around Glasgow, doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that. They take a kayak up the Union Canal for a bit.
Love that bit.
And it's sort of... It's as if Murdoch is kind of, you know, harking back to films like Jean-Luc Godard's Band Apart, you know, this film about these three outsiders who they understand each other, but nobody else understands them. In fact, it goes out of its way to invoke Godard. There's a great scene where the three of them sit down to write a song, and they end up doing a kind of a riff on the Madison dance scene from Band Apart, which is just, and the great thing about it is, you know that Murdoch has seen the Godard film, but he hasn't made this in a way that he wants you to know that he's seen the Godard film. So it's all subtle and it's all kind of playing away under that. Admittedly, there's not a lot of story to this. It's very kind of whimsical. And, you know, twee is a word that has been thrown at this film quite a lot. I don't agree. I don't think it's twee at all. I think it's incredibly sweet. But there's not a big story there. Again, a big reason why it feels like a Bill Forsyth movie. I think if you put more into this film, it would diminish it. I think its kind of sweetness and transience is actually its strongest characteristic. I understand why people aren't going to enjoy this, but I really loved it.
Well, it's a musical in a very light sense of the world. And one thing that I always have a problem with is how music is filmed and delivered on screen. You know, in terms of it can be so contrived sometimes. But all the musical moments within this film feel very natural and very kind of fluid as well in terms of the film. You know, it's not that kind of thing, oh, turn to the camera and sing, speak. It's kind of, it just feels like it's got a beautiful kind of flow to it as well.
It's a lot like the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night, actually, where the performances are often make narrative sense in the context of what's going on. You know, they'll sit down and sing because they're a band and that's what they do. And as well, actually, like A Hard Day's Night, there's a lot of running. There's a really lovely chase scene where they're trying to advertise for new band members, and and Ollie Alexander's character gets chased through a park, and it's very kind of harking back to those films. You know, if Belle and Sebastian rubs you up the wrong way, I would not advise you to go and see this for a second. But it is absolutely, it knows what it's doing, and it does it incredibly beautifully and incredibly tenderly. I really enjoyed this.